What up, people?
Good morning.
Morning. It's been
I
a
was just
very,
about to say
very
happy
good morning.
Friday. I was just about to say happy Friday. I'm just
That's what
wishing
the
the week
markets
away.
do. That's what they do to you. Killer.
Oh, man.
We'll put
Just
some
don't know what
daydream
I'm
music
doing.
on.
Yeah,
We had a
that
really
sounds like
good.
a good
I feel like
idea.
we had a good week last week, huh? Do you
You
think?
had a good week. I had a shocking week. My trading was just diabolical last week. that
Really?
live session on Friday just killed me. I'm
We
90%
did do a
down
little
now.
bit of
Oh,
trading in it.
mate,
If I
honestly.
we were on a really good roll, to be honest. And then it was just
Yeah.
like pushing more and more trades. I think we've still got a long on euro. I think we've got a really nice long on euro setting up. So let's just jump straight in because I don't want to miss any of this, and I definitely want to get in long somewhere. So I've already been in this trade here. I told you earlier. Literally just got out of it. It was right here into this area. So we had that. It was just, I just looked at it straight and I was like, oh, it's pre-market again.
Yeah.
Do I really want to be taking it before everything's open? I was just like, I can't be picking and choosing when I get into the trade. If it's there, it's there.
Yeah.
So literally all it was getting in at that level and then out at the 200 EMA, and it was just picture perfect. It's actually on my Instagram because I was like trying to Instagram live it at the same time. Just super clean. It was just super clean. Now, I have a feeling
if you were going to have a textbook break and retest, that is it.
Yeah,
you know, if you were gonna write a textbook about it, you'd be saying, right, what's a break and retest? This is a break and retest in its purest form.
I think we're long here as well. Like honestly, I think we're long here. I don't really want to get back into it on my other account, but definitely. But it's like I just said to you, I can't pick and choose what I get into. I just can't do it. Like if I see it there, I need to get into it really. So I might get back in with a little bit.
I wouldn't.
Size. You wouldn't.
No, and I'll tell you for why. If you on my trading view, I'm on forex.com, and every single one of the 15 minutes, 1, 2, not all of them, but most of them.
I'll tell you why. Looking at this, we are still. So we've got this level there. I understand we've got a level there. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. We are still in this leg. We haven't had that retracement up to the 50 yet. So that is still, for me, waiting for it to come up here and then for us to maybe see something kind of like breakdowns from there. But that's why I still think this is a long. And by the way that it's looking on the 15-minute, like we've got this area, we've got this gap right here. What, am I not going to take it? It's like,
where would you put your stop?
No, I'd have to put my stop. I'd have to put my stop under here.
Because that's what I'm seeing as major liquidity right now. I'm seeing major liquidity right now.
That'd be the trade. So if I was going to give back, let's say put 500 risk on this.
I mean, you do what you do, but I'd be looking at sells right now.
15
down to where your stop loss is. I'd be looking at sells.
So 500. I'm not as if I'm a trader. Yeah, my math is terrible. Isn't that just ironic? Everybody thinks that trading you need to have good math. But most of us are rubbish.
That's why we all have position size at EA and all that sort of stuff to try and figure out our
250 divided by 15. So 1.6. I'm going to put a 1.6 on this. 1.6. And then I'm risking $200. I'm not giving back all the profits that I just made because I made some super decent profits. And I'm taking it slow. So that's a trade. And I'm going to get it on the 5K account as well that we've been doing together.
Yeah.
So let me open that up. In the meantime, do you want to jump into yours?
Yeah.
While I set this up.
Let me open up my screen. So this is why I see it differently. If you look on the 7 minute, those two bearish candles engulfing just look really, really bearish to me. And then if you take it down to the 15 minute, you've got a candle here with no wick. You've got a candle here with no wick. You've got equal lows down here as well. And you've also got a candle here with no wick. For me, that's major, major liquidity. So if I then take it down to the 1 minute, I've got a bearish engulfing here, taking us south, and then prices come up, retested that wick, and wicked straight back down on the 1 minute. Now, it may not hold, but I've taken a quick sell on that because I can see price coming back down to these areas first. Because if you look at where it is, it's Asia session, so it's what 4 o'clock, 4:45, something like that, my time. So it's very, very early morning.
Yeah,
just feels like, I mean, I could be wrong. It's probably coming up now to take me out, but it just feels like liquidity that price is going to want to take before it goes up and creates that weekly range that we were talking about. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I can understand that. I can definitely see that. I
do think we're long. I agree with your wider bias, but I just feel like we're going to go south first. But
so that will be
proven wrong during the stream right now.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get there during today. I'd be very. What's this on a 15 minute? Euro, I don't think he's going to get there in the day, but I'd be quite happy if it takes out these highs today.
Because what's that? The 15 minute, yeah.
This is the 15 minute, and this is on that little challenge account. So we have to. I'm keeping the risk
interesting though,
relatively good.
On MT5, it looks really, really bullish. But then on my trading view, it doesn't look like it at all. Like you've got a bullish engulfing candle from last night, but there's nothing here. Like, it's a wickless candle. You see it there.
Don't get me wrong. We've got these EMAs that it does need to pass. It's not going to be super smooth sailing. Because you've got these EMAs and you got that EMA, and these are starting to base out now. So all I'm looking for is that fast EMA just to start pointing upwards, price to start getting to the top of the range, bounce off the EMA, and then a continuation. And that really would be the safe trade. The safe trade is here, but it doesn't really give you the best risk to reward if you're getting into that area. And you would want to be getting out of that realistically, because that is at the top of these highs here. So it takes out all of that. And then you're already getting close to that macro 50 level. So
exactly.
So this is the good area to get into for more of a better risk to reward, if you put if you ask me. But
so
pound is pushing a little bit further down.
This is basically what mine looks like. So how this 15-minute closes is really going to determine whether or not this holds. The weakness that I've got here is that this is an inside bar on the 5 minute. So on the 5 minute, it doesn't look so strong. On the 1 minute, we're still holding. So we'll see. But this is basically my interest zone, where if I'm basing it on the 7 minute, we've got this inside bar here, so we've got another level of liquidity here that they'll probably come back to take later. But if you look at it, it started. Did it start with a wick? No, it didn't. It's actually got one pipette wick on it, but we've got loads of liquidity further down. So, or actually, have we? Hang on. No. Hang on a sec. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Because that's a 7 minute. Yeah. Okay. Scared myself for a minute there.
Oops.
Is that wickless? Yeah, it is wickless. Or actually, it might not be.
So we'll go. Let's go through all of the. Let's go through all the levels and all the rest of the stuff that we're looking at, and then we'll talk about some different strategies and things that we would potentially want to.
Yeah. So yes, that's my trade that I'm in at the moment. I'm probably not going to get that far. Be nice if it did.
I know, it looks good. It looks good. It looks good at the moment, and it's broken structure as well on the 5 minute. So
yeah, my only concern is well, not my concern. It's your concern. Is that my TP is your stop loss.
Yeah, it's a zero-sum game, my friend. Zero-sum game. Somebody's got to lose.
Someone's got to lose for somebody to win.
Exactly. Yeah, that is just. Do you know what though? I love that though. I love that part of trading. It is just for me. It's the best. Yeah, it doesn't look actually too good now. I'm checking it out. How much have I got on that?
See, 15 minute looks nice right now.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go through. Let's go through some levels and stuff. So first, we'll start off with the BTC, the big boy, the big boy, and what has gone on the weekends. Let's have.
Do you know what? The noise on X over the weekend was ridiculous.
I'm starting to stay away from X.
God, it is just unreal.
I'm starting to stay away from X, to be honest.
But if you look at the 1 hour, right, the 1 hour is looking nice, as is the 4 hour. You know, look where we on Bitcoin. Yeah, look at the Bitcoin right. Look at Bitcoin right now on the 4 hour. And look where it's horrible price action, but look at the 4 hour from 9 o'clock last night, my time, so 10 o'clock your time, right? If you zoom in a bit and look what that reacts off. If you go to the left and look at that big, long, engulfing 4 hour candle from Monday last week, look where that 4 hour reacts off. Reacts off that 4 hour wick from Monday. It pings straight off and it goes up.
Wow.
You know.
So when people say about order blocks and stuff, there is edge. There is putting orders in these places.
100%.
Definitely putting orders in these places are good areas to get in. Like this is. And we've had so much consolidation around here. We're now at maybe point of control of this range. Maybe that's the point of control. I don't actually know. Yeah. But look, Bitcoin is now showing a little bit of.
Look again at what we've reacted from. So last Monday was a big bullish engulfing candle. We've reacted off that wick. We've wicked around all week, and now we're heading up again. Now, obviously, we're at the beginning of the day, so we don't know how it's going to play out. But that looks really, really nice for buys. And you go through the rest of crypto, it actually looks really nice for buys.
Yeah, I think if we have a look on a macro time frame, we've got all of these lows being taken out, but we still come into quite heavy areas of, demand. And crypto is one of those things that it will cause so much pain before it actually, actually does anything. It's one of those assets that just hurts people first. Maybe because it just needs to take liquidity off smaller players to get, or bigger players to start moving. I don't know. Solana, if you look on the weekly, looks fantastic in my opinion. I'm so pumped that it actually looks like this. because this gives me your trade looks good, actually. Your trade looks good. It's pushing down.
Yeah, it's heading nicely.
Good shit. Yeah, that level there, we've already had that kind of, would you call that a pin? You wouldn't call it a pin, really. It's like spinning top or whatever they call it. I don't really know, but...
Do you know what I call that? I actually call that a doji.
A doji, thank you very much.
I mean, I don't know if that is what people call it, but that's what I call it. A doji.
Yeah. It just shows a little bit of indecision, really. But price has gone up. Price has gone up, pushed all the way down, found demand, and now it's come back up to quite a nice area of support. If it closed under that support, maybe you would feel like it's a little bit, scary. But it's not. It's actually holding support, and it had a big area where it took a lot of players out, and a lot of people have probably been offside going short here as well. So for me, I'm really, really comfortable just keeping my Solana, to the top of these ranges, and hopefully then it turns into something, like this kind of flag pattern where it just goes up and down until it breaks, and it goes to my take profit area, which is 340. If that happens,
so is that a spot trade that you've got, or is that a prop trade?
Yeah, no, this is spot trade.
Okay.
I used to use Binance for all of my futures trading, but I just I'm trading too many things at too many times, and I think just for day trading, just currencies they're just easy. You got the best execution, you've got the best conditions, like. There's no faffing around just to make some money. You don't actually need anything else. Ethereum, let's have a look at ETH. I think ETH is just in a massive accumulation range. That's what I think ETH is in.
The amount of grief. The amount of grief that ETH is getting for not moving and all this sort of stuff. Just the lack of awareness of the macro levels and the macro backdrop behind things is unreal. People are, we talk about how people get into prop firms, we talk about people getting into retail trading, whether it be futures, whether it be Forex and CFDs or whatever.
Yeah.
But you look at crypto, and that psychology just goes out the window. All it is right, hold strong, let's go. But then you have all these other people just literally just don't know what to do with themselves. Mine that I'm holding at the moment, my Memdex, went through a pretty rough weekend because the Twitter account got hacked on Friday. And so they lost access to the Twitter account. Whoever those hackers were knew what they were doing, because they did it on a Friday when there was going to be no support from Twitter to get it back. And it fell off. If you look at it, there it is there. It fell off.
Oh, really nice place to buy, actually.
Beautiful place to buy, and I had an extra bag in, right? But nice, again, but if you look at every weekend that we've had, there's always been a drop. So where was it? This weekend here, we had a drop, right? The weekend before, we had a drop. Every time there's been a weekend, it drops. And the reason for that is because the weekends is when you get all the newbies who don't know what they're doing. They've got FOMO and they're like, oh, let me buy into some crypto. There's lots of noise going on with crypto and everything else. They all buy in, and then suddenly they see their bags go down in value, and it's like, and they sell off. And then Monday comes in, and then all of the guys that actually know what they're doing are back in on crypto because that's what they do. And then things start to align properly again. You haven't got institutions in crypto on the weekends, So, the market might be opened, but you're not actually going to see, the big players placing trades, I don't think, over the weekends, unless you just got some big whales. So crypto for me, I mean, it's been a real steep learning curve, I've got to say, because I've only really gotten into it in the last few months, but it's interesting to see how it plays out compared to things like the Forex and the indices and stuff like that. Let's have a look at NAS, actually, because
go for it. Go through all the main ones, and I've just got to message somebody quickly. So go through it all.
So we had NFP on Friday, and that was our NFP drop. Now NFP literally just tanked. It tanked the entire NAS down by what, 2.2%, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is just such a massive drop, but it's now started to recover. So overnight, we've seen this big drop. They've gone down to retest these levels here, possibly down to even here. Not quite, but they have come to this level. There we go. So we can again see this area where price has come back and tested these two nice engulfing candles, and it's created a nice one. So it looks like the NAS, after the wobble on Friday with the NFP, is like, actually, do you know what? We're not so bothered, because NFP would have been based upon the tail end of the Biden administration, and I think the market's now thinking, well, hang on a second, Trump knows what he's doing. Let's just position ourselves, with a better price. So I mean, we are ranging still, and this is my only concern with the NAS is if you look at that, I mean, it's just it's like the most awful price action you can imagine. We've got these highs which haven't been taken, we've got these lows that have, and they're holding, but I mean, that's just ever since what, middle of December. Look at that range. That's just horrible action. What would you do with that?
If you're on the 5 minutes, check the 5 minutes. I bet they're holding some really good intraday structures. So yeah, look at that then. If you're targeting liquidity and stuff like that. So if you're seeing
that's
that
my
kind of
liquidity
there you go. Yeah. So you're seeing all of these inner highs.
Mm-hmm.
They're on a 5 minute. They're perfect targets. They set you up with some of the nicest targets. And it was the first time I actually traded NAS, which was on an NFP. And I gotta say, when it moves fast. And it seems like it's a bit like Bitcoin with this. It's a bit like Bitcoin with this. Once it, takes everybody out, or once it does its thing, then it moves to the opposite side. So I really like it to trade. I think on a intraday, I definitely think there's a lot of edge in it. I think on a macro 4 hour, I think there's too much of a range. I think it's too rangy, to be honest.
This is slightly worrying. I'm not sure if my trade is going to hold.
Yeah, I got back in on the other account.
Look what we did. We came down, took out that liquidity level that I mentioned, and now we've popped back up. So I think I'm going to close that before I hit full stop loss actually, and I might get in on your buys actually. So I'm going to flip that, and I'm going to get in on a buy here. No, I want to buy, not a sell. Long position roughly there. TP there, up here. Because we have got a nice level of liquidity here as well. On that one there, on the 15 minute. So
if you had to put your money where your mouth is, which to be fair, you already have, because you're already short. But what are our plays for today, or what are our plays maybe for the week? What are we thinking?
If we take it out to the daily, daily still looks. I still think there's dollar strength. I know I keep saying it, and I'll keep on saying it, but look how we ended the week. Right, we ended the week with a nice big bearish engulfing candle. So I think NFP, people are thinking, oh, right, okay, the dollar's going to weaken now. The dollar isn't going to weaken. Trump doesn't want a weak dollar. Well, he does want a weak dollar, but he doesn't want it yet.
Yeah.
He still wants to negotiate with China. So until he gets China to the table and starts getting something from them, there we go. Look, there's price now going. There you go. There's your trade now. That's going nicely.
Yeah, maybe I took it off a little bit prematurely, but I'm lucky I actually got back in.
3273, 3273. One up there. That could be a nice one because the reason I'm looking at that one is we've opened up the day with no wick. So I thought it was just a 15-minute candle, but actually we've opened up the day with no wick. So that will come to be taken, I'm pretty sure. As will probably this level here, because that's a nice inside bar on the 1 hour. So that's where I'm going to put my TP for this trade. Whether it will hold further, I'm not so sure. We have got further liquidity up here that could actually come up to here. It's one I'm probably going to have to keep an eye on. But I think generally overall, if you look at it, we've got this big, nice bearish candle, and we've still got room to go on the downside. We've still got levels to go and test further down here. So, we're looking at EU. We've broken these lows here. This was strong structure, but it hasn't held. So I think we're still going to come further down. Looking at that just looks like we're still going to see some more dollar strength, because this is what, let's remember, Trump is a businessman. What does Trump want to do? He wants to do a deal. Who does he want to do a deal with? He wants to do a deal with China. China are only going to do a deal.
He wants to do a deal with everyone.
Well, exactly. But he doesn't want a strong dollar long term. But just like he did when he came into power first time, there was a Trump rally and then it came down. So that would be my play. I would be looking at more. I say that and then I look at other ones. Actually, no, that could still come in nicely. I could still see some strength coming in, but it's, yeah. There's a lot of accumulation here on the dollar yen. So my week, I'd be looking probably strength for the dollar, and I'd also be looking at. I was looking at this earlier before we started, the Aussie dollar, Japanese yen. That's on the daily. But I like to just every now and again for the swings, just to see what are we looking at for the weekly and even the monthly, right? On the monthly, you're not seeing it for some reason. Hang on. Let's open this up. There we go. Look at that. CAD USD on the monthly. So there's a big gap between those two at the moment. So again, that potentially presents an opportunity when it comes to the swings, as does the Aussie dollar, Japanese yen. So that was one I was just going to do a quick analysis on. And sure enough, if we look at it, I just said Aussie dollar's starting to show some strength. Japanese yen is starting to show some weakness. Japanese yen, as we know from last week, was really, really strong.
Yep.
For a swing buy, that looks really, really nice.
Yeah.
On the daily, that looks like a really, really nice trade for the Aussie dollar. We've come down to this level. We're retesting this low here. We've tapped into this wick on the daily, and now we're heading up. We drill down to the 4 hour. We can still see the same thing. And there's nothing really here. There's no nice engulfing candles until we get up to this level here. I would say, yeah, okay, this is where we might see a reaction. Possibly here. So you might see a bit more chop. So it might come up, down, and then up again. But as a swing trade, that looks
what like is that? Nice. Let's have a look on a weekly. I was gonna say if we were like in a range or something, but we're not really in a range. We just come to a really nice area of demand. What's it looking like on a 5 minute?
On a 5 minute, let's have a look.
Oh yeah, mate, that's long. That's gone already. That's, oh mate, if the EMA's on there, you'd see some of the nicest trades. Obviously, it's already kind of gone, but
let me stick.
Yeah, whack a 200 on there just to see what it looks like. A 200 looks like.
Let's change the color so we can see it better.
What about on a 15 minute? That would have been hard to take it. The 15 minute would have been a nice trade. Because you could have seen it.
We've broken this level here.
Yeah.
But that looks like a nice one.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, coming up to these levels probably. So, but you know, if you wanted to get in on a swing, then I'd probably be looking for a retest down here, because that move it's a sharp move. It's a big, bold move. So on a day trade, okay, you've missed it. But this looks nice. This looks like a nice area here, down here, to be looking for buy opportunities later on. So I might even set myself an alert just to have a look at this, because there's just too much here. There's too much liquidity left. There's nothing significant saying, right, we're ready to go. The 4 hour has a nice long wick, so that wick needs to be retested, I think. Yeah, because if you look at the 4 hour, we're still some way off that 200 EMA. So I think we'll probably retest this area before we come up. So there might still be an opportunity, but it's going to be a set and forget type, sit and wait.
Yeah. What are we looking at this week on news? We'll pop that up and we'll probably finish on that one.
News-wise, so we've got some Aussie news tomorrow, overnight. So that will no doubt be one to look out at tomorrow. We've then got Powell doing a testimony tomorrow. So that is going to be an interesting one. I think that's to the Senate. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Will it tell us? Probably won't. No, it won't tell us. So we've got that. Then we've got CPI and inflation. Then we've got another Fed Powell testimony on Wednesday. Thursday, we've got GDP for the pound. And we've also got the jobless claims as usual.
Yeah.
And then Friday, we have got GDP. So this week is GDP week. So we've got retail sales and we've got GDP for the Euro, retail sales for the US. So there's a nice little bit of news coming through this week. Nothing like NFP, but still enough, I would say, to move the markets. And the thing is this is, now we're heading into February. This is the January figures. When we get to the end of February and we're going to March, we're then going to start to see the impact of, at least the initial impact of Trump and his policies against the dollar, and what people might start positioning for.
That's the thing, where all of these things, all of these news, all of these economic kind of indicators, they are super lagging in a way, because they don't really, you don't really see their effect. Like everything happening in the UK right now, it's not the effect of something that happened last year. It's the effect that happened something last 15, 20 years caused the UK to be where it's like now. So it's like, that's why I like fundamentals, because it gives you you need fundamentals. It gives you the overall context of things, and it can move the market definitely.
Yeah.
But that's why I think technicals, in my opinion, just trump it, especially if you're just on lower time frames or your intraday trading. It just, you can't,
absolutely,
you know, just watching the tape, watching price action, little bit of discretionary kind of intuition, and I think you've got yourself a nice little way of extra income.
Yeah, I think do you know, it does depend on your approach, right? If you're a swing trader, fundamentals are key, right? Fundamentals are going to be absolutely key, right? But as a technical intraday trader, then, you know, fundamentals, as you said, they're a massive lagging indicator, and they're only going to give you sentiment. They're only going to give you kind of, okay, where are we going? You know, one person once said to me about NFP, and the NFP doesn't actually move the market in terms of changing direction. All it does is it just shifts the market to go and grab liquidity somewhere and carry on moving. So
what did
the
it do
market
Friday? It literally spiked both sides of the range.
Yeah,
it spiked both sides of the range and then just carried on going up on.
Look at it. Look where it came on the S&P. Look where it came on the NAS. Right. It hasn't changed the direction of it. Not yet, anyway. Right. That's on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, we haven't changed direction. We're still ranging on the NAS. On the Dow Jones, nothing has changed. Look, all it's done is take us down to a previous level, right? We've retested it. We've almost come down to that 200 EMA, which we probably will do, as we'll probably range in this area maybe for a bit, and we'll keep on going. It's not going to suddenly... These aren't things that change the market, because at the end of the day, the market makers know what economies are doing and how it's playing. The economy doesn't just flip on a knife edge, right?
Yeah.
It changes over a long period of time. And so the markets, all they use, the news announcements, it's just an excuse. It's just an excuse to tap into, to buy levels, sell levels, to get into better positions. That's all it is.
And they know where all of the orders are.
Yeah.
They know where all of the orders are. And if they've got, let's say, they've got a big customer, that they need to get in big size into the market. Well, they've got to do that. They've got to be able to slowly, and I'm not talking, maybe on FX it's a little bit different because it is such a liquid market and it takes a lot of money to move it.
Yeah.
But that being said, if you're looking on something like equities and somebody wants to start buying or building a position, he's not going to put his full clip all in the one area.
Absolutely.
He has to put a little bit in, the market moves, maybe then it tests an area, comes back down, he adds more. If he keeps coming back down to the area, he'll keep adding more. And that's why it's like sellers getting bought up, it's
absolutely
coming onto the level and more people getting in at this level because that's where they want to get in. And then eventually, once all the sellers have dried up, that's when the market starts pushing, because the market's got to find the area where they can find the next lot of sellers. Simple, just like order book.
And do you know what? It's a great way of explaining when you look at it from the crypto space, right? Yeah. So I mentioned it earlier about Memdex, right? So we had all of these people that bought in here, right? And then they sold up here because they were like, oh, that's a really nice bit of profit. Thank you very much. So they sold off. And it sells off. And all of the buyers, like myself, if we take it, forget the institutions and everything else. If I'm an institution, I want to get in here. I want the best possible low price. So sell it off. If you want to sell off your crypto, be my guest, because I will buy it up, and then it will head on up again. I'm still really bullish on this. Still really, really bullish. When you take it down to the 4 hour, it looks
incredibly bullish. If I wasn't such a, I don't know why, but I don't know what is going on with me. I'm being super cautious with my crypto at the moment. Like super cautious. I think I've done some silly things over the last few weeks.
You've been
I don't know if it's been hurt, because every cycle I tend to do silly little things because you're in profits, and until you've got those profits in your bank account, it doesn't really feel like profits. It feels like fun money, and it's like, what's Tensol? What's 10 Sol?
Exactly.
I'm just gonna whack it into Melina or whatever it's like. So now I've come back to, I've had that little bit of FOMO that cost me, a few grand. Now I'm just happy just to wait. And plus, Solana isn't where it was a few months ago. It's not at its all-time highs. Now it's at an area where it's like kind of make or break. This is a clear area of support. So
Yeah.
I want to see it really push up before I start wasting it on, because that 10 sol, if that goes back up to my target, is no longer 2,700. It's actually it costs a lot of money if you think about it. That's why I say I never buy like things like with crypto. Other than things like prop firm accounts, I'll buy it with crypto because I know that has opportunity to grow and get bigger. But you're buying, I don't know, phones or material items with crypto. Think of how much money that is actually going to cost you because you've taken it out of crypto and you've put it into something else.
You've just devalued your bag.
You basically you've put your bag on a little bit of short-term
lifestyle bags. You've turned
lifestyle
it into a lifestyle bag,
which it's important. Don't get me wrong. A lifestyle bag is super important, and you need little things to make sure you're not just in crypto or in trading, and you're not putting anything to your life as well. At the end of the day, we're all doing this because we want to better our lives and we want extra income and things like that. That's the whole point of trading at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So I think it is super important. But that being said, it depends what. And you shouldn't be doing it willy-nilly. But looks good.
Looks like a. Oh, sorry. I was going to say your long on EU is looking good.
Yeah.
So we'll see how far it goes. But as you said, it's probably going to take a little while for it to play out. So.
Really push up, yeah. I think those areas that you've signed off on, those are the first. We're on a train right now. We've got to go to each stop before we get to its end destination. For me, it's the 200 EMA is the station. Before that, it's got to get through all of those areas without breaking down. Yeah. That's all I'm looking at. So step by step. I've got relatively low risk on this one, just because I don't feel like giving myself, especially on the 15-minute. I need a bit wider stop losses. On the 5-minute, I'm happy having a stop loss at 5 pips on EU. On a 15-minute, it needs to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah. I'm just marking out some of these levels, but we can pick this up again next time. I'm just going to mark out some of these levels.
On Wednesday as well, because that would be plenty of time to see if the traders has laid out.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm out of focus, huh?
You are a bit blurry, I was going to say. Given the amount that you splashed out on your special cam, I'm expecting to see you in 4K.
I'm expecting to see myself in 4K. But yeah, okay. Well, that's it, guys. We'll obviously update you on all the trading and everything. The community's going well. We're building that up. We've got loads more creators and loads more things, and we're building all of the content here as well. And that's it. What do you reckon, Michael?
I'm really looking forward to the launch. We've got the beta launch at the end of February, hopefully. And yeah, some of the stuff that we're building for it right now, the courses and stuff is just, you're not going to get that anywhere else. This is going to genuinely be, I think, something that the market desperately needs. And I know you believe as well. So it's going to be good. Excited to be part of it.
Nice. See you later, guys.
Cheers, guys.